Welcome back. And let me quickly take you through what was earlier presented to you as news round, because you might not understand basically some of those information available there. The first is on the relationship between Access and Diamond Bank PLC. The net beneficiary of that transaction should actually not be shareholders of or existing shareholders of Diamond Bank. It should be existing shareholders of Access Bank. Yes, it is true that Access is buying at a premium, all right, as at the time the transaction was entered into. Diamond Bank was actually selling at 87 kobo. And then Access Bank has said, we're going to pay you 3 naira 13 kobo. Now, it is not those that are being bought or that is being bought, but the one that is buying, all right, because at the end of the day, your diamond is going to become Access. Yeah, as we speak now, this transaction will make Access Bank outstandingly the biggest financial institution in Nigeria, as a matter of fact, by extension, Africa. That is a big plus to the organization. I saw the price coming down. To me, it's not a big deal. Let it come down lower than this. It only gives opportunity to buy more, right? Because let me tell you this, the higher you see the price of diamond, the lower the returns that accrue to you. So if you bought at 2 naira, what you are going to get is not going to change 3 naira 13 kobo. If you bought at 3 naira, what you are going to get is not going to change 3 naira 13 kobo. If you have bought at 60 kobo, what you are going to get is not going to change 3 naira 13 kobo. All right? Now, for Diamond Bank, we can pin down the maximum price it might get to, but Access, the one that is buying, yes, quite a number of people had talked about expansion, talking about Skybank and all the rest of it. Now, in the case of Access Bank, let us look back a little at what previous transactions they had gone into. First, they took over Commercial Bank, Credit Lyonnais. What did they make out of it? Big, better Access Bank. And then Intercontinental Bank. Some people were actually saying back then that Intercontinental was by far bigger than Access Bank, but they took it over today. What have they been able to create out of it? Did it kill them? The answer is no. Even before this acquisition of Diamond Bank was announced, Access Bank was between third, fourth financial institution in Nigeria, depending on your metrics of measure, all right? So that being said, this also will come the way Intercontinental came, and then the way the purchase of Commercial Bank, Credit Lyonnais. Definitely, Access Bank will not keep those that they feel should not belong to their work team there. So you might get to hear that there is downsizing. Yes, there should be downsizing because they are there to make profit. So when you are buying a financial institution, you are investing money, you want to make money. And so that is a lot of branches will be closed because as we speak today now, we were somewhere in Abuja last week and we saw Access Bank and Diamond Bank side by side. Definitely. I was even in the Diamond Bank there. I said, you guys should not call yourself Diamond Bank again. Call yourself Access Bank. So you don't expect them to still retain those two branches. All right. They will have to look at the pros and the cons. And so definitely there will be lots of branches that would be shut down, but that's not a big deal. The attraction in this transaction is that the assets will be in excess of 6 trillion naira. I think the next that will come near that, I don't want to mention any other financial institution now. When you talk about the shareholders fund, and when you talk about shareholders fund, you look at the relationship between the assets of an organization and the liability. When you put, we are not here yet, we are still in Access, don't go faster than me. When you put the two together, all right, the asset, then from the asset you subtract the liability. What is left is the shareholders fund. And so in this case, you are talking about shareholders fund that is about 700 billion naira. Of course, Access Bank has said it will be hitting the market after an extraordinary general meeting in February of 2019, and then the meeting will be to seek the approval of the shareholders to raise 75 billion naira in the market. Of course, they need to do that, not necessarily for this purchase, but to further consolidate their position in the financial market. Now, they really want to play big in the global financial market. All right, so the stock to actually look for is Access. But when is the cutoff date for this transaction? It is after the court-ordered extraordinary general meeting. We can now go to the new rest. You see, this is not very good to the market that one of those companies listed on the official list of the Nigerian Stock Exchange is to be delisted. Talking now about New Rest, that is ASL, Aviation Services Limited. Back in days, when you get to the aircraft local, those that do prepare all those things that, very small thing and all those, that is what they do. Basically, they are getting delisted. And that is where the Shareholders Association should come in. There's nothing the Stock Exchange can do to this. There's nothing that SEC can do to this. But the Shareholders Association can actually come together and say, no, sue them, halt this. These are the things that should be done. Then Continental Reinsurance PLC had their court-ordered extraordinary general meeting sometimes last week, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Tuesday or so, right? And what was it that transpired there? What you get to hear from the oracle is authentic. They will not tell you this. You will not get to hear this on in any media. No newspaper will carry it, but that was what transpired there. There was a sharp disagreement between Continental Reinsurance because they said they want to sell. And I think at 2 naira, can I remember now, 2 naira 4 kobo or thereabout. I can't remember the exact figure now. But the shareholders are saying 10 naira per share. There should be negotiation, for goodness sake. How do you impose price, all right, on the existing shareholders? That is wrong. That is fraudulent. And our market should be sanitized. But you see, there's nothing the regulatory authorities could do about this. It is the shareholders. So the shareholders were there. And what did the shareholders do? They disagreed, and they were insisting that they wanted a price of 10 naira. And when the company will not budge, what the shareholders did was to stage a walkout. And what did this company subsequently do? They now brought up their staff to raise the issues and make the approval. But what, to the best of my knowledge, the shareholders are not stopping at that, because the activity of Continental Re is unacceptable. So the shareholders, as at the last time I was told, should be on their way to court to halt this entire process. And that's why I'm coming up with Association for Avid Shareholders. As of today, we have a lot of people that had signified interest, but we are still trying to perfect our registration with the Securities and Exchange Commission. That should be done and perfected during the holiday. There are a lot of activities ahead of Abayomi or Babalijo the Oracle in 2019. Again, I've said it here on this platform that whenever you get to hear of share reconstruction, is fraudulent. Why are you reconstructing your shares? In the first instance, were you not the one that created the shares in the first instance? So why will you create a share? Why will you create shares and you are coming to reconstruct again? It has been announced that C&I Leasing is slicing your shares by 4. The best, though I don't know whether you could still get it to sell. The cutoff date for the reconstruction was actually December 12th. The stock price is currently on technical suspension, but I will advise you, as soon as the technical suspension is lifted, first of all sell and wait. The price might go up, fine, let it remain there. But in case this company does not do well for any reason, you are definitely going to see the price down. I think we have roughly 2 minutes to round off on the platform this afternoon. I can say that for year to date, if you see the slide, which is the last slide I'm going to show you now, I captured the performance of the market year to date, month on month. And when you see it from January to December of 2018, the market went up only in the month of January 16.26%, which was the best that the market recorded so far, so good this year. Don't mind the way the arrow, where the arrow is standing, all right? The arrow shouldn't have started from January. It should have started from February, which was what I did, all right, basically. But you could see again that the market did not go up again until June. So for the 12 years, so far so good in 2018, the market has been down 10 months, and then the market is up just only 2 months. All right. So basically, we hope that 2019 is going to be a lot better. As we speak now, between today and the next election, I know we'll be counting less than 53, 52 days. All right. The days of market down period is coming to an end. I want to say a very big thank you to you, because it is time for me to leave, and I'm leaving peacefully to celebrate Christmas and with my family, just like you also. But you know what? We're still going to meet, and it's going to be our last edition for the year 2018. As of then, we'll be previewing the new year and then reviewing the outgoing year. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you for staying tuned, and all those that worked with me to make the presentation today a success, and particularly those two young men. Until Monday morning, when I shall return again to you on this platform, I remain yours sincerely in wealth creation, its accumulation and preservation. Abayomi Obabulijo. Merry Christmas and God bless you.